We're backstage now. Richard Neer of WNEW FM. Hey, Bruce. Bruce, good fight. You won, I think. 12 rounds, babe. 12 rounds.
I'm going about in the 10th round, but I started lighting up a little and started getting it right in this section. But I think by the finish, I think they scored it right. What do you think, Jay?
I don't know. Your eye's pretty messed up, man. You got to fight again?
Let me go take a break. Let me take a little break.
Back into the trainer's room for a rub down and a cold shower, and Bruce will be okay. What a concert. What a concert. Back here with Dennis Elsis and Dave Herman, and I think any comments we might have would be superfluous at this point. You heard it. You didn't see it, unfortunately, and if you don't have tickets, you can't because it's sold out. Standing room lines were all the way around the block at 5 o'clock this afternoon. Dave, what do you think?
Maybe the best thing I can tell you is the kind of response they're getting at the bottom line throughout the performance on the phones. I guess people kind of dialing across their radio have been coming across this music and hearing something about the bottom line on the station breaks and not even realizing what's going on and what they're listening to. And the phones have been ringing all evening. Hundreds of telephone calls with people just saying, who am I listening to? This is incredible.
And speaking of audience response, we've decided to take kind of a poll, and Dennis will tell you about that.
Well, I'd just be curious to know, what people thought of our live concerts as they've been from the bottom line, and I'd love to know what people who've never heard Bruce Springsteen's music before think of him, and I'd be very curious to see what the mail's going to be like. It was an incredible show. Those of us, again, who have been lucky to see Bruce live just flipped out, and as I was sitting in the audience tonight, I kept trying to imagine what it would be like, to be sitting at home. So I'm really anxious to see what the mail is going to be like. Very, very interested to see that.
Can you give the address?
Well, it's just, WNEW FM, care of any of us, 565 Fifth Avenue, New York, 10017.
And in closing, I would like to thank everybody who made this possible. We can't mention everyone by name, of course, but starting out with Columbia Records, Joe Sienkiewicz and Erwin Siegelstein, who really pulled the whole thing through. The management, Laurel Canyon Management, Mike Appel, who also mixed the broadcast. Dennis McNamara for technical supervision, along with David Vanderhayden and Larry Brody. And, of course, the owners of the bottom line, Alan Pepper and Stanley Snedowski. It was just an incredible concert.
And you forgot one group of people. Bruce Springsteen and the East Street Band, which is a very hard thing to say because it always comes out Bruce Springsteen and the Easteen Band, but it's Bruce Springsteen and the East Street Band.
All right, here he is. Give me a goddamn break it, done some of the names too. All right.
Woo! Okay. And that was Herman David that just made that announcement. Okay, well, we have to, of course, thank Bruce and the E Street Band. Just an incredible performance, and I hope it's not true, but I think it might be likened to back in the 60s when you could see Dylan at a small club, or the Beatles in those small cellars, and on the Mersey River, and the Who in small clubs. This is a rare moment, and I just hope it'll happen again sometime, although I kind of think the next stop could be a place like the Garden or Radio City or someplace like that. Just an incredible show.
There's got to be no bounds, and we also got to thank two other people. The bosses, our program director, Scott Muni, and our general manager, Mel Karmazin, who helped to make the whole machine work and who make it so exciting for us to be at WNEW FM and to bring you events like this.
From the bottom line, Richard Neer for Dave Herman and Dennis Elsis, and we'll take you back to the studios of WNEW FM right now, and Allison Steele.
Thanks, Richard. Oh, gosh, it's a little bit frustrating to be on the outside when you guys are over there on the inside, but then you can't have everything, and the nice part of it is that we got to share that broadcast. It doesn't happen too often that everybody can get to go to the same concert, and that's about what we did tonight. So it set us up in a great mood, and we should have a terrific evening. Allison Steele, WNEW FM in stereo.